Morning, everybody. We're going to do a wood stacking video this morning because I think it's important for people to know how to stack wood, although to explain how to stack wood is is kind of difficult because you have to experience it yourself to really truly learn it, but it is an art. I'm just going to show you a few things that I've kind of learned over the years, but it is kind of a feel. You just have to do it lots in order to get to that point. So what I'm going to show you here is, if we look, I like to cut mine 18 inches, but it doesn't matter if it's 16 or 18. The biggest thing is having consistency of wood. If you have a smaller length and you put it on top at the bottom, it's just going to teeter over. And what's going to happen, now the trouble why these are kind of in, we want them to be slanting in towards the other pile a little bit, but not too much. Now this is a little bit excessive here. You can see it's going down because we stepped on this to get to the top up there. So that's why it's down, but I'm going to show you how you can correct that pretty easily. And what you want to look for is you want to try to find a piece. Here's a good example. See these nubs? And the wood's never going to be perfect. So this guy's a big nub here. And what I would do is this nub could go right there. And it doesn't bring it, it's still a little bit of a slant down, but it's not as pronounced as it was. And so you use those to your advantage. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you might have to shake them a little bit to get them in the right position. When you're doing the bottom row, I always find it's nice to keep it a little ways away from here. And then as you stack up, it can kind of lean towards the next row. Not too much, but I'd rather have it leaning a little bit back than a little bit forward. Nothing worse than a fire pile or a firewood pile that's blown over or pushed over. That is very, very demoralizing. So we're gonna go through the process here. I'll set you up, explain it as we go. So sometimes you'll get wood that's perfectly straight like this, but anyone that's done firewood knows that that's kind of a rarity. Mostly you'll get kind of an oddball, like I said, with a big nub on the end. And for example here, this is still going downhill. So I'm going to put the nub in here. And it just kind of raises it up a little bit. And you get some weird shapes. Like, look at this one. Just a weird irregular shape. I don't know. I'll try it there. Just kind of give it a little wiggle, see how it feels. And what I also find is helpful is building up the ends. Building up the ends here. I build these up first on the ends and then kind of just have a concavity to it all the way up. And now if you look here, another good example, this is sloping down towards me. So if I can find a nubby one here to raise up and go down or even get it flat, that's the secret. So it's a game, it's a puzzle. It's really all it is. So right now, I'll look for, if I can find one, like one with kind of a nub. This is just the back of the track. Like, look here, here's a good one. It's got a nub on it. That might work, we'll see. So I'll place it here and see how that kind of straightened this out a little bit. Use the wood to your advantage. And then we'll keep going from there. You can't tell, but that's pretty much level now. And if I can get a little slight incline down, that's the secret. And you want to keep them out a little bit. And then just keep going back and forth, back and forth. So I'll put you on fast motion. You can watch us stack this. We got the back of the truck filled here just with three rows. So maybe it's about a half a cord. And we just show the fast motion here so you can see how the wood is stacked and see it grow in a short amount of time. I'm going to show you here. Here's kind of an ugly, weird, twisted piece. I don't know if you can see it, everybody. It's kind of twisted. So when you put it in, you just kind of, sometimes it doesn't sit right. Like there's too wobbly. So you might have to turn it. That doesn't fit there. Might have to go over there. No. There. And then just kind of play with it till it sits in a better position. So it doesn't always go where you first think it's going to go. And that's kind of the fun of wood stacking. See here, this one, I can't see it here, but this is a little bit too high. So I might have to give it a little movement. And as I said, we'll try to fill this in and then build that side up and then just keep going seesaw action back and forth. And the pile continues to grow, and we're taking this just from over at our barn area where it's been drying into our woodshed for this coming winter. I usually don't fill it this early, but the weather has been so nice and dry, I figured make hay while the sun shines, figuratively. And so as you can see, the stack's going up, and I do work on the ends to keep that going. And like I said, we just kind of work on the belly back and forth, seesawing back and forth up until the very top. And we do the height of it, we probably go about 8 feet. Okay, we're coming to a close here. Last 12 or so sticks.
Last one.
Okay, put it where you want. And there's our little stack. You can kind of see it from this direction. Slight lean back up here. It's hard to tell with the camera. Slight lean in. Here, I've pulled it out a little ways from there, just so I have the support of these two. I don't like it actually, but I think it's needed. I don't like the look of it, but structurally it's better. So we're getting there. A few more loads. We've got the top of this one to finish off, like is our 4th row. Then we have to do a 5th row, and then this, I can't remember, do we do 4.5 or do we do 5.5? All depends on where it comes out here, I remember. So I think we get one more.
I think it's 5.
Yeah, we'll have to calculate it, I forget. We don't go against this.
No.
So I think maybe it's definitely finishing this row, and then I think half of another row. We'll play it by ear. So the Woodshed Cafe is a little bit more woodshed today than cafe. That's a nice looking stack of wood actually. We're very fortunate we don't have to deal with a lot of straggly pieces this year. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time.